السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللقاء ده يا جماعة يعتبر أهم لقاء أنا عملته في حياتي يمكن في القناة دي. وما كنتش متوقع إن السنو يبقى عنده وقت علشان نعرف نعمل معاه اللقاء ده. واللقاء ده أغلب الكلام فيه عن حقيقة المصارعة والبرنامج اللي مكسر الدنيا على نتفليكس، برنامج ذا ريسلرز، اللي بيتكلم عن معاناة المصارعين بره عالم المصارعة في دبليو اي اي دبليو. احنا بنتكلم على او في دبليو والمعاناة، لكن احنا معانا الأسطورة السنو وهنتكلم معاه عن حاجات كتير قوي، واتمنى اللقاء ده يعجبه. At the beginning, I'd like to welcome the legend, the one and only, my favorite mentor, the one who knows all of things, and I owe him a lot from my heart. This is true. It's not an exaggeration. You know how much I love you, sir. So I'd like to welcome you
Same.
to my YouTube channel. And at the beginning, I would like to ask you, as you have done it all, you know everything about this industry, whether you are a wrestler or an owner or a script writer, anything. Could you define pro wrestling for all the people here in the Middle East?
Sure, yes. And it's so good to see you. I've missed you.
Thank you. Me too.
I have to get back over someday soon.
Yeah, I wish.
Professional wrestling is an art form of physical storytelling within the context of a competitive situation. Everything that is done in professional wrestling is quite real physically. Everything is quite real. It's the only thing that's not real or is that we know the outcome before we go in the ring. We're not actually competing. We're not going in there with the intent to win. We're going in with the intent to entertain the audience and make the audience believe in who we are and why we're doing what we're doing, because everything that we physically do is quite real.
Yeah. So it is dangerous to some extent to your body, and you spend a lot of your time and body by the time you feel that you are getting weak on the ring as a pro wrestler. No.
It is quite dangerous. Every time a professional wrestler goes to the ring, there's a percentage of a chance that they could have a life-altering or life-ending injury. Lots of wrestlers get hurt. I know I've been hurt. I've fractured my neck twice. I've had broken ribs, bruised ribs, cracked ribs, broke my elbow, broke my forearm. I dislocated my right shoulder, separated my right, separated my left, cracked my tailbone, have both knees. I've had both my knees replaced just recently, just from the physical toll that professional wrestling takes.
Yeah. So it's by the time you feel that your joints are getting weak because of the jumps and every dangerous spots that we see on TV.
Yes. I mean, it's no different than, playing rugby or, really physical sports as well. They all take their toll on your body eventually, and there's a price that has to be paid physically, and it just is what it is.
So do you feel it worth it? All you have
Oh,
done?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel very blessed. And I mean that word sincerely, like blessed.
Yeah.
I've gotten to follow my passion and to do what I love to do for as long as I've gotten to do it. I've gotten to travel the world, meet amazing people like yourself.
Thank you.
I've been in, I think, 43 different countries around the world.
Yeah.
I've been on 6 of the 7 continents. All I have to do is go to Antarctica and put my feet down, and I've been on all 7 continents.
Yeah.
I've gotten to do things and see things and go places that other people only read about in books or see on TV or on the internet. And that's all just because I, chose to be a professional wrestler.
You know that we first met in 2009 in Egypt.
Yes.
I was this skinny guy who was choked by you.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was very good days, by the way.
Yeah.
So we will get into OVW. how did
Sure.
you, yeah, how did you take the decision at the beginning to be the owner of OVW, and what hardships did you face at the beginning?
Well, the wasn't really in the plan to buy OVW, but it kind of ended up happening. I had at the time in the United States, we have wrestling or licensing commissions for professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And I went to the one that was here in the state of Kentucky and tried to get them to back standards for training. It was, with professional wrestling, there are a lot of people that it's too easy to get in, and there aren't really any real actual standards
here.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wanted to do that. And then one thing led to another. And the founder of OVW, Danny Davis, was wanting to retire. We started having a conversation, and one thing led to another. I had met my original business partner, Chad Miller, and Joe Reeves. And we went in together and bought OVW. And then it began right out of the gate. OVW over the years has been such a really esteemed training place and wrestling center. Yeah. And it had kind of, Danny Davis had kind of got a little burned out. He started to kind of let things kind of falter. Mm-hmm. And so it took a couple of years of rebuilding to get it back, get OVW back to a place of prominence. And then we were very fortunate with this 1 in a million chance of, this documentary series airing on Netflix. Yeah. So,
It's awesome, but I think that you have a lot in it. I feel that this is the way you think in the episodes. I have noticed that I see Al thinking in it, see scripting and storytelling. This is not the storytelling of a casual guy. This is a guy who is in wrestling. Am I right or not? This is
yes.
You in the episodes.
Well, yes. And I wanted to let everyone know, I want to make it understood that this is, what they're watching is not a reality show.
Yeah.
This is a documentary. Nothing was contrived, nothing was put on, nothing was created, and in fact, I told the director, Greg Whiteley, who's a really wonderfully talented person.
Yeah, he is awesome. Yeah.
He did Last Chance U and Cheer. I can't recommend enough people watch that. I told him, when you get here, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to behave any differently than what I would anyways. I want you to understand that, because I have to still be here when you leave. And I have a responsibility to the company. I have a responsibility to the talent. I have a responsibility to myself. And so what you see on the show is what, they were here from the end of May to the end of August for about 3.5 months. Yeah. And they filmed 7 days a week, 12 to 16 hours a day. So they followed us everywhere. They followed us, at the arena. They followed us at home. They followed people to work. They followed everyone everywhere. And that's a testament, I think, to the talent and to the staff of OVW. They opened themselves up 100%, and just let them film whatever they filmed. And, sometimes I wish, based on what you see on the series, that some of it was contrived and made up. But all it is exactly what it is, and these people and these people are who you see on the television show.
Yeah, I started to feel that they are my friends. I felt that I'm between you guys and everything is happening, because I have experienced a little about this. So I'm feeling everyone and the suffering that they have. Some of them are working other jobs to keep the wrestling business. I was shocked by the seizure that Matt had at the fourth. This was off the hook. I was suddenly, oh my God, this is happening. And I don't know, maybe you were shocked by it. I
Very
know.
much so. I mean, when you're there and that happens out of nowhere, and
Yeah,
it's scary.
yeah,
He's had a few there at the arena,
yeah,
and each time it's disturbing to see. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
very disturbing. Then you're concerned, obviously, for his health and safety and well-being. That you hope that it's nothing severe or anything like that. And you don't know what's right to do and what's not right to do, but you just want to help.
yeah. So, you know, I was so, you know, thinking, how can you keep your composure? You didn't get angry. You did, even when you
Uh,
smile, you try to, I don't know, you are not hiding your feelings, but I think
no,
that you are keeping a line that, you are one of the characters that demands respect. When I saw you at the first time, I have to respect you even if I
thank
don't
you.
know it. Yeah, this is nature. So how do you keep your composure like this? Maybe by experience.
Uh, I don't always keep my composure. Sometimes I lose my composure.
I
It
didn't see
happens
it.
once in a while.
No, 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 I didn't see it.
But I always remind myself that everyone is a project. Everyone
Yeah,
is learning. Everyone is making mistakes, and I can't. I hold them to standards. I hold them to a very high standard and higher than probably what they've ever had to be held to before. And
yeah,
as a result, I know that in order for me to get them there, I've got to give them the freedom to make mistakes, and to learn. And then that doesn't mean that I'm going to protect their feelings, when they come back from a match or they come back, they're producing TV or whatever they are doing when they come back and they go, how was it? And then I'm very direct and I'm very honest. And because I don't think that it benefits them for me to lie to
exactly.
them. I think that, they're there to learn and they're there to get experience. And I have to accept that, uh, and not get it upset at every little mistake.
Yeah,
But at the end, I've got to give them the freedom to make those mistakes. But then it's my responsibility in a constructive fashion to say, here's exactly what you did wrong. Here's why it's wrong. Here's what you should have done. Let's not make that mistake going forward.
yeah. This is how we learn. Yeah, we have to
Yes.
be faced with our defects most of the time.
Yes. And getting experience. I mean,
Yeah,
but in order to get experience, you've got to make mistakes to get the
exactly,
experience. Yeah.
exactly. I was shocked by a line, maybe in the second episode at the beginning, when maybe one of your wrestlers, whose name is Certified,
Uh,
was talking to you about wrestling today and how it is being corny, and most of us are not buying the stories. S-
sure.
Why?
Because there's been a shift within professional wrestling, and a little bit of a loss of understanding by the performers themselves. You, the audience, only want to believe in two things.
Yeah,
You want to believe in who the wrestler is, who they've demonstrated their personality, their persona to you. You want to believe in them. You want to believe they are who they say they are. And then you want to believe in why they're doing things, that they're actually prize fighters. And if they don't win, they don't get paid or they don't get paid as much. And so when they go to that ring, the main thing they're wanting to do, first and foremost, is they're wanting to win. They don't want to lose. So now there's a consequence to everything they do. That if, somebody picks them up and slams them, it's not the body slam that you're wanting to believe in. You're wanting to believe that if he gets body slammed again, he might lose the match because, you're not going to relate to what they do physically. You're only going to relate to who and why.
yeah,
And the modern performers the emphasis is on trying to sell you or convince you on what they do, not on who they are or why they do it. And part of the appeal, the biggest part of the appeal for wrestling is for fans to relate to and know who the wrestler is, to the point where somebody just like them,
Yeah.
or or you want to be like them, or you aspire to be like them, or you connect with them, you know what I mean? Because you know who they are. And if you believe in who that person is, you'll believe in anything they physically do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, modern wrestlers they only concern themselves with what they do, not who they are and why they do it.
So it's more like doing spots on the ring without getting the continuity that we should have had it like we had it before at the Attitude Era. We were following a storyline, and the spots or the match confirmed it. So I understand why when you answered the question, you asked him, when did you enjoy it? You said The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah.
So this is
I said that for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
When's the last time that a match just between two people was the motivation, the reason that you wanted to watch WrestleMania? And it not just because it's WrestleMania by itself, but two people went to the ring, and like Hogan, Andre, Steve Austin and Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, The Rock and Hulk Hogan, John Cena and The Rock, those were what motivated you to want to watch WrestleMania, was that one particular match. And now it's the event itself that makes you want to see it, the spectacle, and all of it. But for, it should be two people that you're motivated to want to watch, and that's why you buy a ticket or you buy the premium live event, because you can't miss that one particular match. And that's been a lot of years since that's happened. WrestleMania still does great business. Can't deny that. They literally sell out. They've sold out in Philadelphia for 2 days in like hours. So they're doing something right. But it's the event itself now that's selling the tickets, not the talent themselves that are selling the tickets. And that's a big difference.
This is the big dilemma that I saw on the documentaries, or you were struggling to impose a story and try to make Matt understand that we are not making cheap heat. We are building stories to make it continue.
Yes.
So people here in the Middle East started to be more, to realize that they know the cheap heat where it is, and we saw a lot of it. Especially, whether it in AEW or WWE, I cannot name any company. It's all like this.
Yeah.
They depend on the famous guys, cheap heat, and so I see it that they are maybe disrespecting the audience by repeating this.
A kind of, in a way, yes, I would say so, because they're, a good rule of thumb in any business, not just wrestling, is never assume that your audience is not as smart as you.
Exactly.
Always assume that you have to work up to your audience. Assume that your audience is always smarter and more sophisticated than what you think. And that will force you to always level up. If you assume that you can get away with the minimum because your audience isn't really going to know, you have a tendency to then, no matter what the business is, put out a product that is subpar and not what it really could be, and you're not really doing it with passion anyways. If you assume your audience is smarter, you raise the level.
Okay, so they started to compete with each other today because they felt that I'm talking about AEW and WWE. They started to feel the competition and the product. Suddenly, I felt that there is something new.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why as wrestling fans, and wrestlers, we need AEW to not just survive but thrive. We need them on the playing field against WWE so that it helps and motivates and makes things better, not just for the wrestlers and not just for the wrestling companies, but for you, the fans.
Exactly.
That was what brought the Attitude Era to such heights years ago because of WCW pushing the boundaries and then WWE responding, leveling up, which just all it did was give the fans a much better experience.
So going back to OVW.
Yes.
Where do you see OVW after about 2 years from now?
I hope that we've achieved the goal that I wanted from the start, and that is an operational regional territory.
Yeah.
That, like say for instance, if you're a young talent, you can come here and get your start, get your experience, and you can make a living. You're not going to get rich, but you can make a living doing what you love to do. You can just, as opposed to seeing what a lot of the wrestlers are doing now, where they have other jobs and things, you can just wrestle and make enough to survive. If you're an older wrestler, you're a wrestler who's, let's say you've been in WWE or you've been in AEW, and you need a place to come to reinvent yourself, where you'll still get exposure. WWE, AEW will be watching, they'll see you on TV, and you literally reinvent yourself so that you get another opportunity to go back to WWE or AEW, and you can do wrestling for a living and not have to have some other means of income. Again, you're not going to get rich. You're not going to make as much money as you did in WWE or AEW, but you can survive, and you can have a place to where you can dedicate yourself to reinventing yourself and potentially getting another opportunity on a much bigger stage. My hope is that we can raise the standards and provide a regional audience, a national experience at a regional cost. It's so expensive for families to attend like WWE or AEW events.
Sure.
I'm sure even in the Middle East, it's very expensive when WWE comes in and tours the Middle East. The tickets are insane. And if you're an average person, you have a wife and you have kids and you want to take them, for a lot of people, it's a little too much to afford. But if I can create a comparable event that doesn't cost a third of what it would cost to go to WWE, and now you and your family can go and have a good time and enjoy things, then I've really accomplished something.
That's why they want to come to Egypt, by the way.
Yeah. I know that's because they the expense is just too much. That's why when they operate even in the United States, they run live events, and there's always been a big push in WWE, even back when I was there, where they were trying to motivate everyone to stop running live events, not untelevised events.
Yeah.
Because they're so expensive, and they have to attract such a large audience to be able to make them profitable. And even here in the United States, and that's without all of the international travel costs and things of that nature. And it's still very expensive for them to put on a live show. For me, I don't have that kind of overhead, so I can mitigate expenses, and I can make it to where a family of four can afford to come.
Wish we can do it someday in Egypt.
Yes.
Here in Egypt, we have at least double or triple the fan base of the Middle East. because we are
Yes.
100 million. So it's easy to fill a stadium with 100,000.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But the economics and
It's
circumstances, and
it's challenging, but it
yeah,
can be done. It can be
yeah,
done
it
if
can be done.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the concepts that you sir talked about, yeah, it can
Mhm.
happen because we don't have to spend about $2 or $3 million to get a big or a major company.
Right.
So back also to the wrestlers, because I want to ask you a million questions, but
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
uh, how OVW is going to benefit from these episodes, the wrestlers, or how it
Uh,
started to produce anything substantial?
sure. Well, the benefits are already being seen. We're still hoping and keeping our fingers crossed for a season 2.
Yeah,
We just hoping that they'll agree to do a season 2. But even if just season 1, was so positively received around the world, everybody was, there. I expected that there'd be some kind of negativity, but really it's been 99% positive. And
yeah,
um, the benefit of it is that we have a lot more increased relevancy and awareness. The
yeah,
two key things in any business are awareness of the existence of the business, awareness of your product, and then the relevancy of your product. That it's it's interesting. It's got heat. People are curious about it. It's people are having conversations about it someplace, out at work, talking about, did you see, OVW last night, or did you watch that episode? And that kind of thing has already manifested itself, because the last 3 weeks for our Thursday night TVs, we've sold out in
okay,
advance of. So we're already sold out for Thursday today.
yeah,
And last week we were sold out for Thursday on Monday, and the week before that we were sold out. We're all ready for our pay-per-view that we do on Fight TV on October 21st. As far as the live audience, we've
yeah.
been sold out of that for about a week and a half, 2 weeks already. We've already sold all the seats in the arena for October 21st. So
Everything is changing right now.
and now it's awesome,
Yeah,
but like I tell the wrestlers, this is now the time where we got to tighten up, and we've really got to work even harder. We've got
yeah,
to.
yeah.
This is awesome and just incredible that we're getting this kind of reaction. Now we've got to really make
Scott,
use of it,
yeah.
and really the real work starts now. Yeah.
We have seen how you built Shira, and how you got Jim Storm to face him, and we knew a lot about his suffering, and also Haley and her relationship with with her mother. A lot of
Yes.
things. So we have seen a lot of stories in one documentary. 7 episodes. We have seen drama, real drama. That
Sure.
yeah, and also this translated in on the ring.
Hmm.
This got
Yes, and
yeah,
that kind of happens all the time, because uh, the one big thing about wrestling and wrestlers themselves is that it has to. Jerry Jarrett, an old time wrestling promoter, said you got to tell enough of the truth to get someone to believe a lie.
yeah,
So, like Haley and Maria, they really truly had some personal issues and
yeah,
angst, they're going back from Haley's childhood, so it was an outlet for them to channel some of that resentment and that anger, and regret and remorse, um, with each other, and I think it actually helped them a lot. I think their relationship's in a lot better place,
yeah.
as crazy as that may sound.
Yeah.
Shira and James, and they had a very personal relationship because when Shira was brought over from India for Impact Wrestling,
Yeah.
The one person who kind of took him under his wing and kind of helped him was James Storm.
Yeah.
When he was in Nashville, otherwise Shira was just there by himself in a foreign country.
Mm.
So, I wanted to play off of, and you didn't get to see it on the show, but I wanted to play off of that between James and Shira, that relationship, and the betrayal of where James would do whatever it took to win,
Yeah.
even if it was his friend.
Yeah.
Winning the title meant more than his relationship as a friend to Shira.
This
And
should be emphasized more on those episodes because we didn't see. We only saw a glimpse of it.
yeah, and that's because they have so much that they got to use whatever they feel is going to be conducive to telling what story they want to tell.
Yeah.
But that you didn't get to see, and it was good that you didn't get to see it, because I feel like they did a very good job of pulling back the curtain, but not pulling it so open wide that it loses some of the magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you got to see enough, but you didn't get to see so much that if you wanted to watch now Shira and James Storm wrestle, you wouldn't get, you'd still be able to get lost in the magic of the match itself.
Yeah, the book still has some pages unread.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this maybe qualify for a second season, because from my area of expertise, I was in the media most of my time. I see that if Netflix didn't do the first season, I bet that another company is going to make a second. Not Netflix, maybe another company.
Yeah, I don't know. All we can do right now is, keep our fingers crossed and keep promoting the show itself, and keep trying to raise its awareness. And, and then I get great opportunities like this with you and with
Thank
others,
you. Thank you.
To do these interviews and to bring attention to to wrestlers, and to, on Netflix, and then also to OVW.
Yeah.
And you guys, I know you get Fight TV, right? You get the Fight
Yeah,
TV.
yeah. We have Egypt. It here in the Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah. And, so every Thursday night, you can watch OVW live on Fight, and then on October 21st, we're doing that pay-per-view on that Saturday, October 21st. So you can watch it as well, or you guys can watch it on YouTube. I mean, it'll be there
I'll
as well.
share most of the links that for Fight TV and for OVW and every social media links, because people could get more exposure, because they already looking forward to know all about the wrestling world outside WWE. They are asking about it, because most of the people here in the Middle East, they know exactly that when they try to be wrestlers, they won't go to WWE. They have to look for OVW or any major company other than AEW or WWE to get the professional experience.
Yeah. We've already had, we have students here from, we've already had students from England and Scotland, and we had was it not last summer before, we had a student from Qatar. Who came and stayed. Classy Ali, Classy Ali came and stayed, for 3 months during the summer, and great guy, great, really great attitude. And really improved and developed the whole time he was here. So, we're open to international students, and and it being a venue to allow them to learn and to get exposure, and maybe, because you never know where it might take you. I can't guarantee it, but being seen, at least being seen in the wrestling ring by WWE or AEW can, maybe at some point manifest an opportunity to go beyond, just wrestling in OVW and wrestling in WWE or AEW, but you never know until you try.
Do you feel sad when one of your talents or wrestlers leaves you to WWE or AEW?
Oh God, no, not at all. that's my hope. That's my goal, is that, and I mean this sincerely, and it's not because I'm some magnanimous saint or something, but each and every one of these people, their success is my success.
Yeah.
So the more successful they are, the more successful I am. My reputation, my legacy is directly tied to each and every one of these people. So the more they become stars, the more successful OVW as a whole is, the more successful each one of these talent are, and the more of them that I can groom that can then go to WWE or AEW for an opportunity just makes me that much more successful as well.
Sir, you're planting the seeds in every country you visit. You try to teach me. Since I have seen you, you are teaching me. I have seen you very happy with the success of Cody Rhodes and John Morrison in Qatar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You were
very proud of them.
Yeah. And I saw you were very happy to see Cody and John Morrison.
Oh, very proud.
Yeah, they are your kids.
Yes, they are my kids. I saw Kenny King on Saturday night. I saw him Saturday night, and I'm very proud of him. He was from Tough Enough too, and so I'm very proud of Kenny and the career he's made, and Jim, and John Morrison and Cody Rhodes, and I've got so many. Both men and women that I'm very proud of.
I've seen you crying at Tough Enough at the last episode. Got goosebumps. Yeah.
Yeah, they make me proud.
Yeah. At the end, I leave OVW and I'm not going to talk about WWE and AEW. I want some memories from Snow. His match against Chris Benoit.
Against Chris, I only wrestled Chris 3 separate times.
Yeah.
The first time was at my gym in Lima, Ohio.
Yeah.
We met and wrestled that first time, and we had a chemistry when we were in the ring. And then the second time was in ECW on TV, and then there was a third time for WWE in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was a live show, or
yeah, it was at the Georgia Dome for Monday Night Raw, I think it was. And every time, I look, nobody knows what exactly happened in that house except for the people that were in it. And
I agree with you. And
I don't know. And to this day, it's still a mystery and still baffled, and and still something that none of us can just accept. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't know what occurred or how, but it was a tragedy. It was terrible thing that happened. But I have fond memories of Chris, before that. And, when he and Nancy were together, we would see them, and we're so envious. They as a family seem so happy. So
yeah.
It just makes it even that much more bizarre and that much more tragic what did occur.
Away from this, talking about Chris Benoit as a professional wrestler. He was one of the top 5 of his generation.
So you could believe in him. You could believe in why he was doing what he was doing. He was, believable. Yeah. And that's so important. Like we talked about earlier, being able to believe in who they are. That's why Goldberg was so immensely popular, because you could, he came out there and you believed in his intensity, and you believed he was out there to win. So it was just natural that he'd be so popular. You could believe in Steve Austin.
Yeah, sure.
You believe in the Undertaker. That's why they were what they were, because you could believe in them. So
a lot of the people here in the Middle East, maybe some of them, the people who are avid professional wrestling fans like me, knows that you have a tag team with Kane.
Kane.
The dynamic duo.
Yes, and Smoky Mountain Wrestling for Jim Cornette.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kane and I were. He was Unabomb
yeah,
in Smoky Mountain, and it was what a great person, what a great guy, very intelligent person, you
yeah.
know, and so athletic for his size, you know, for to be as big as he is, to be able to move like he did, was pretty impressive.
You had a lot of memories also with Mick Foley and The Rock, and a lot.
Hmm.
But this was hilarious, especially the spots that you had backstage with The Rock and Mick Foley.
Oh, we had a lot of fun. You know, we shared a connection, on screen that was easy and was
Yeah,
never forced. And was, you
natural.
could just,
Yeah,
yeah, and you just came in and you can do it. You know what I mean? Just like boom, and didn't have to work at it or script it out or anything. We just
this
played off each
this
other.
wasn't scripted, by the way, right?
No, no,
Yeah,
no, not at all. You
yeah.
know,
Also,
so
yeah. So I was you were going to say anything, sir? Or I
oh
have.
no, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way you were having your entrance at ECW, I think one of them when you were shaking the head and the guys on the stage, why we don't see anything like this today?
I don't know.
This was awesome, you know. You feel,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, this is natural.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and all the energy was
Yeah,
so incredible. That um, you know, and Ron and Charlie, they were the cameramen for
yeah,
ECW.
exactly.
They were the ones who came up with turning the camera upside down and
Yeah, and
moving it in
moving.
and out.
Yeah,
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 yeah, that, there's no one, you never accomplish anything in life by yourself. You know what I
exactly,
mean?
exactly.
There's always, it always takes so many other people to really be successful, and, I've been, again, very blessed to, be around a lot of amazing and incredibly talented and giving people, that have been willing to do something because it's just something they were passionate about doing, and you know um make incredible stuff. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
So you are trying to continue with OVW as long as you are following the goals and you won't leave them, right?
No, no, and there are rules. You gotta, there are rules that, uh I try to operate with integrity,
Yeah,
and try to always endeavor to treat people the way that I simply want to be treated myself,
yes,
and I think that's a pretty simple rule to follow.
yeah.
So
The last question or the thing that I want you to explain to the guys here.
yes,
Yeah, how do respect plays a very important role in pro wrestling?
respect in professional wrestling, in life,
Yeah,
respect is the utmost important thing.
yeah,
Not, what a lot of people consider. Okay,
yeah,
self-respect. Self-respect is the absolute most important thing in anyone's life.
yeah,
You can only be treated by the way you allow yourself to be treated. And if you have a certain amount, if you have self-respect, then you're able to respect others.
yeah,
If you don't really have self-respect, you're never ever really truly going to respect others. And life is nothing more than relationships. And if you really want to have a real relationship, whether the old mantra, well, you can't love somebody if you don't love yourself.
yeah,
That's not true. People don't love themselves, and
yeah,
they'll love other people all the time.
yeah,
In order to really love someone, you have to respect them. And in order to respect them, you have to respect yourself. In order to really have a friendship, you have to respect the person. And in
right,
order to do that, you have to respect yourself. In order to do real business, where you both succeed, you have to have respect for them but you can only have respect for them if you have respect for yourself. And that at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, no matter how old you live, no matter how much money you make, no matter how famous you become, the one thing you have in this life that means more than anything else is your name. That is the one thing they can't take away from you.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you leave behind is your name. And it is worth more than any amount of money. And the only way you keep that name is keeping that respect. And the only way you get that respect is if you give it. And the only way you can give it is if you have it for yourself. Simple as that.
Great words to end this episode, but I don't want to end it, but I have to end it. I know that you are
I've got to jump on another. Yeah, I got to jump on another interview.
Yeah, so
sorry.
Thank you so
Sorry,
much,
my friend.
and I just want you to say anything to the Egyptian and the Middle East in general. Short words.
It's been too long since I've been there. I have visited the Middle East and Egypt several times, and I first and foremost thank you all for being wrestling fans. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't get to do what I get to do. I can't thank all of you enough for being wrestling fans. And hopefully, I'll get to return to the Middle East soon. And, if people, you're a fan, please come up, say hi, shake my hand. I'd love to meet you, and don't be shy. And I really can't thank you all enough sincerely for your support and positivity about OVW and about wrestlers and just about being wrestling fans in general. Thank you guys all so much.
And thank you very much, Al and Sarah. I can, sometimes you lose for words because you have a lot of respect and love feelings, but thank you, sir.
No, thank you, my friend. And it's been too long. We gotta get back together soon.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll even bring Steve Linsky along.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Operation Sandstorm 2.
Yes. Yes. Oh yes. I remember that.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.